Now, in that regard, if you look, and I'm staying with Dervla for the moment, if you look at your 2 CDs, like, there's this mix, you know, you've got all the some of the old Irish country stuff and all that sort of stuff. And then I picked out 3 at random, okay?
Okay.
The great Helen Shapiro number, Walking Back to Happiness. Halfway to Paradise, Billy Fury. And I Only Want to Be With You, the great Dusty Springfield.
That's right.
Now, this is music, Dervla, that Derek and you never heard first, because you weren't even born when these were hits, isn't that so? So what, like, it's old-time music in a way to you. So how do you react to that? How do you, what's the word I'm looking for here? How do you sort of get into that? Because it's not the music of your generation.
No, well, I suppose it isn't the music of our generation, but since myself and Derek have been little, that is the music we've been brought up with. It's always been in our house, because obviously our mum loves that music, and all our family background loves that type of music. So, like, it's great, and it should be out there more, because, you know, since this kind of happened for us, I suppose the fact that myself and Derek are young as well, I feel we are going to bring it back. And loads of young people are saying, God, how come we haven't heard it before, you know? So,
alright, well now, listen, one of the things I think about hits, right?
Yeah.
And there's a long history, Derek, there's a long history in the music business of somebody making a record. This is, you know, not a CD, but a record or a song, which captured the imagination. And a big problem always is a follow-up, isn't that right?
Yes.
A big problem always is to get the next one to have the same reaction. So, do you know what I'm going to do? Right. I'm actually going to try and help you guys. So why don't you listen to this?
Okay.
Goodbye, farewell, I'm not sure what to do. So long, au revoir, it's hard, but I'll pull through.
Okay, Derek, I'll just give you the background to this. This is, funny enough, when I thought about you two kids, if you don't mind me saying so, I thought of that group. They were called the Callan Twins, and they had a #1 hit record with that, and I think they won a Eurovision Song Contest in the way back distant past. Do you think that Crystal Swing could do anything with Are You Sure?
With that song, is it?
Yeah.
Well, like, you know, my first reaction now to that would be like, you know, I suppose it's sort of, like, there was sort of, like the Beatles, you know, there was sort of a similar connection there with the Beatles, and that song, I would think anyway myself, you know, there was you know, the harmonies and everything.
Well, that's what I thought, you see.
You know?
Yeah, I thought, so, therefore, if you put it on your next CD, you can put in brackets after it, suggested by Gene. But in the meantime, now that you share, because I have to tell you, Walking Back to Happiness and Halfway to Paradise and I Only Want to Be With You would be very high up on my own personal hit parade. Yes. So therefore, that kind of music, I'll act as your kind of researcher, and I will now trawl through all my 1960s memories to come up with stuff for you. Yes. Mary, I want to ask a difficult question of you now. No. You've got this extraordinary success with YouTube. You've got Ellen DeGeneres. Yes. What about the cash? Is the cash rolling in or not?
Well, you know, that's what we're hoping, George. You know, like, there are a lot of wonderful offers coming in at the moment from all parts of the world, really. You know, at the moment, of course, obviously we're in a lot of negotiations and discussions, and like, we still have a lot of decisions to make, George, but you know, things are looking very good for us. And of course, we have a big tour coming up, a tour of Ireland now, you know, and we'll be like, for example, in the Hazel Hotel in Monasterevin, we'll be playing in our own Cork Opera House, we'll be in Wexford, we'll be in Kilkenny. So you know, obviously I think there's, at the moment, people are looking for tickets, and seems to be such good publicity, and with the Ellen DeGeneres show, we're hoping that this will continue. And you know, we want it big time. Money is not was never the biggest thing in our lives, George.
But it is likely to be your kids' profession. Now, Dervla and Derek, this is where their futures are, isn't that so?
Oh, of course. No, obviously. I mean, gosh, if we can make money out of it, that is going to be brilliant. But as I say, we're people like that. You know, up to now, we thank God we've always had enough and everything like that. But like, obviously, you know, if it opens new doors, whatever happens, George, you know, we're just going to go with it, you know.
Dervla, what about the life? You know, this is a tough life, the touring life. Interestingly, there was a letter released in the papers a couple of weeks ago from Cliff Richard when he was 21 or 22, and he wrote it to a girl and he said, you know, I'm breaking it off with you because I can't have a girlfriend to be a pop star. So what about normal social life, Dervla? You're not worried that, you know, the ordinary life that a good-looking young girl like you might have, you know, is maybe not going to be so easy anymore.
Well, it is hard. Like, you know, there's no two ways about it. You know, like, you can't always see your friends maybe when you want to, but, you know, at the end of the day, this is what we want to do, and we're going to do it. I'm going to do it. But yeah, like, those things we do have to make sacrifices, and, you know, things like going out and that now is taking a bit of a backseat at the moment. But, you know, there's always the future as well, and for the moment we're working on this and we're going to try and make it, and that's what you got to do.
How would you feel stepping off the plane at Heathrow, you know, and walking down to the baggage reclaim with 4 big security men all around you, pushing everybody away? I mean, are you going to be okay with that? Because, like, you're heading in that direction.
I know.
If it works.
I suppose things are kind of going that way, but look, if that's what it takes, you know, I'm up for anything. But without putting words in your mouth, whatever it takes to be a superstar in this business, you're going to do it. I'm going to do it.
She always wanted a puppy dog in her handbag.
Dog in the bag.